bonsoir. Tozongeli lisusu na poko ya lelo na kati ya programme na biso à 20h chez vous. Vraiment tozana esengo mingi lisusu pona kokutana lisusu na mokolo ya lelo. On a commencé un peu avec un petit retard. Tozalaki oyo gauche droite et puis le transport. Voilà, mais on est là. Bienvenue dans notre programme de la semaine 20h chez vous. Ezali supervisé par, disons, ESA sponsorisé par Walmart UK, charité locale Awana Salford, et spécialement Awana Katia Manchester. Tozali Awana Katia station, il y a Manchester, Ezali, il y a Venix TV. Under management, il y a Papa JC, il y a Lala, et puis Walmart, il y a under management, il y a Maman Pipe. Voilà, nga kombo nanga Mama Prudence, tozana invité na biso oyo ayele loko participer na programme la fois passée tozala ki awa tolobaki makambo ya hypertension et puis tolobi makambo ya barin ye moko aza témoignage vivante donc eza biloko mususu tokoki koloba yango on peut en parler mais des fois on parle compte tenu des théories mais on ne parle pas compte tenu des facts mais ye moko aza témoignage vivante ke azali moto oyo ba sali kidney transplant et oyo kidney ya liboso beba que je crois que vous boyokaki un peu mais toutefois on va encore se rafraîchir encore avec quelques questions oyo bisika bozali bokoki kotuna question mais avant de faire toutes choses je vous encourage de partager lelo eza biloko oyo ezali plus qu'intéressé biso ba noir le black community est vraiment très importante pour la bisopote que to découvrir to tanga et puis to ebandenge ni tokoki ko salisana. Alors sans toutefois tarder, je vais introduire guest na biso ya lelo qui est à ma droite ici. Alors je vais t'introduire en français quand même avant de commencer en anglais.
Oui, je vais essayer. C'est parce que ça fait longtemps que j'ai parlé le français. Donc, il faut me pardonner parce que ma français ne court comme avant, comme 25 ans avant. Donc, je m'appelle Hilary Assoumou et je suis heureux d'être ici.
Hilary, you have a try though. I like the way you are courageous.
So I was going to say it in English. Good evening, everybody. It's a long time since I spoke French. That's like 25 years ago, if not more. Good evening. My name is Hilary Assoumou. I'm happy to be here.
Voilà, Hilary s'est introduit. Elle est heureuse d'être ici. Hilary, she's happy to be here. Hilary, last time, first you are welcome. Again, we appreciate your time, your effort, and all the love. I can say this is love.
Yes.
You try to reach on your community.
Yeah.
To bring this awareness of this kidney problem. We can hear from the people talking, but sometimes we never have really person like this. You know that this is a person who went through to all that situation and is next to you. We always overheard from the people on the news. Really, I will try sometimes if people have been struggling with English, I will try maybe to break a little bit in a short sentence in a French, so everybody can take part to all this. I just wanted to ask you a question just to introduce yourself. You say that you are Hilary, but outside of Hilary, what brought you in this station again? We've been here last week and you again today. What your motivation? You want to be here again. Speak to us now. We are listening.
Yes, so it's so good to be here, everybody. Last time I was here, I talked about my journey as a kidney patient, but we didn't have enough time to talk, and I'm really grateful that they brought me back. Looking at me, people wouldn't know that I'm a kidney patient, but I am a kidney and transplant patient. And my journey started in 2008 when I had a miscarriage at 22 weeks, which deteriorated very quickly to septicemia, which is sepsis or blood poisoning, multiple organ failure, 2 cardiac arrests, and I was in a coma for 2 weeks. And when I came out of that coma, I was told that my kidneys had shrunk and I had to go on dialysis for a short while.
Yeah. I want to pause a little bit because when they say that, what is the normal size of the kidney?
It's fist. It's like your fist. That's how big the kidney is. So if you put your fist
is like your hands. It is.
Yes, it's like it's like your hand. Everybody, and it's located just behind your lower back in that little indentation in your back. That little little hole right there or slope. You know, in your sides, on your back. That's where it's located. But unfortunately, because of the multiple organ failure, it affected both my kidneys and they shrunk to walnuts. So they're as round as this, you know, the cover of this bottle. And unfortunately, because of that, I had to go on dialysis. The doctors were, you know, they were not sure, you know, if I was going to make it through because of the severity of, you know, what happened to me. But, you know, I woke up. And the second time it happened in 2010, same thing happened, miscarriage, septicemia, multiple organ failure. And this time my lungs collapsed. And they had to reintubate me because I was in a coma for 2 weeks. They had to put a tube down my throat to help me to breathe. So when they were taking the tube out, my lungs collapsed and they had to put me back under. So put me back into a coma to save my life. And this time when I came out, they said, unfortunately, you know, your kidneys, the damage is too much, you have to go on dialysis. So I did go on dialysis and I was on that for 10 years.
I know we'll have time to speak many things here, but I just wanted to go quickly, briefly. Did you know that when you've been pregnant for the first time, did you know that the pregnancy can put you into danger?
No, I didn't.
There was no sign
that
your pregnant has a problem, or they did not mention any problem about your pregnant?
No, I already had 2 children. So I had a boy and a girl, and they were both 5 and 6 at that time. And you know, there were no problems whatsoever. Okay, I had both of them by cesarean, but there were no problems whatsoever. And so this third one came as a shock, you know, that this had happened. And we didn't think that, you know, it was going to happen twice, but then we found ourselves in that situation. So most people might not expect it. I wasn't expecting. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party. So there was no reason for me to have, you know, multiple.
Did you have any like another health problem, like a high blood pressure or anything else, or just a pregnant problem?
Nothing that I could think, you know, that was the problem, because I was perfectly healthy. I didn't have any problems with the pregnancy. Okay, I did have a problem with my hips, you know, because my bones sort of like shifted, and that was being treated with a girdle around my waist. But outside of that, I was actually okay. So it came as a shock to me. In fact, I was totally out of it. It was my family who were around me who were going through the trauma of seeing me, you know, die, wake up, you know, bring me back each time. So yeah, it was a shock. It was a shock, yeah.
Je voulais juste donner rapidement ce qu'il arrive pour les gens qui ont un peu raté un peu une partie. Elle est patiente de transplantation de reins. Tous les 2 reins, elle nous explique que chaque personne, le rein, c'est le size, comment le size, ok, your size of your hands, pour toute personne. Alors, pour elle, c'était réellement, ça s'est réduit au niveau de une petite noix, comme des noisettes, le noix des noisettes qu'on est en train de manger. C'était réduit à ce niveau-là. Et ce qui a causé, c'était la grossesse. Et la grossesse l'a plongée dans le coma. Le coma, donc, elle était obligée d'être sur le support machine. C'est comme ça. Elle s'était en sortie. Et la deuxième fois, ça s'est répété encore la même situation. Mais cette fois-ci, la deuxième fois, la situation comme ça s'est répétée. Et ça a affecté le rein, tous les 2 reins. Quand elle est sortie, on lui a dit que tous les 2 reins sont complètement détruits et elle ne peut plus fonctionner. Donc voilà, c'était ça ce que je voulais un peu dire briefly. Now, Hilary, my question is, how long did you stay under dialysis without of having what is the donor?
Well, I was actually on dialysis for 10 years. Initially, it was on and off the first time. And then from 2010, I had to go on dialysis. It just went on from then. And unfortunately, because our community, we do not donate, we do not think about organ donation, I had to wait that long. And again, my antibodies percentage was 97. So that actually, sort of like cancelled quite a lot of people. It actually removed a lot of people from being able to donate.
You are healthy, or what was the problem? When you say that your body, it was like about antibody was like 95%.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Okay, so for instance, if you are ill or you have a cold, there's some things in your body that can fight, like if you have a cold and you have a cough, there's some things in your body that fight that cold to help you get better. They are called antibodies. They fight infection from inside your body and, sort of like kill those infection out. So they like the white blood cells, they do that. So the antibodies mine were at 97%. That means it was very high. So my body was very good at fighting infection. So because of that, to give me a kidney, to give me a transplant, it meant that my body would fight that transplant.
Whoa.
And I will not be able to keep it. My body will reject the transplant. So that was the issue. So everybody who came, they put me through because it's a machine. So in this machine, they put everybody's details in your body, your physiology, everything about your stats for your organs in your body. And then when an organ becomes available, the machine checks all over the UK, checks who is eligible, who can actually receive that organ. And that year, 2018, March, it was me. There was no other person. It was me. And when the phone call came, they said, we found a kidney for you. It wasn't, I was waiting. It was, we found a kidney for you.
Wow. That means they find the matches.
Yes. It was a perfect match as well. I will not go into the technicalities, but I'll tell you, it was meant for me. It was a perfect match. When it's a perfect match, sometimes it's called the HLA. So HLA is a way of, matching somebody, your tissues, to the organ they want to give to you. So mine was 0, 0, 0. That is perfect.
They did not need any to force or to adapt. Because
no, it was just. It was me, it was mine.
Wow.
And that was the miracle in the whole thing, because some people get 121 or 112, which is the typing, they call it. And for me, it was amazing that, when they found the kidney, it was just my perfect match. It's happened to a few other people, but for me, waiting that long, when my brothers and sisters, I have 7 brothers and sisters, including my parents and my girlfriend from high school, Onyebuchi Odiaka, who had come forward, 10 people had come forward to be my donors, but none of them was a match, including my parents. So imagine the shock when I was told that was what was going to happen.
Bandeko Bozo réalisait vraiment les Cambondais qu'on a vu sur Zoloba pendant 10 ans qu'il était obligé d'attendre moto oya akoki ko sala ekoki ko zala matches c'est-à-dire que et s'accorder et à la modèle moko et rejeter puisque bato ebele ba même ba membre de famille na propre mais bazala qui préparer à couper serein moko mais ata mutu moko azalaki ezalaki vraiment ko se conformer ou bien ko match te ko click te jusqu'à ce que mutu moko il a fallu après 10 ans baye ko trouver les mutu moko puisque nzoto na ezalaki vraiment en bonne santé donc as anticorps na ezalaki bien et puis onyo so bazo présenter donc nzoto na ezo bundisa ezako rejeter yango voilà nde oyo na koki koloba briefly. I just want to go again quickly to the transplant. How long this took? Is it something which is the surgery taking like 5 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours? How long the surgery does take for them to
To give me the kidney. Yeah. Well, the operation took. I went in at 2 a.m. in the morning and I came out about 7 or 9. I cannot actually remember, but it takes about 7 hours or thereabouts.
7 hours.
7 hours or thereabouts. And when I came out, I was like a new person, because previously when you see me, I look really dark. My skin is grey, like a corpse.
Like a clay.
Yes.
A green, yeah.
Yes. And then when I got the transplant, I looked like a human being. In fact, immediately my color changed, my skin changed, and I sat down there. I was crying, I was singing songs of praise to God. I was thanking God, because for years I thought I was dead.
Amen.
I thought next minute I'm going to be dead, because I had so many issues. You know, I was in and out of hospital. I had to teach my children to be independent. I had to teach them to cook, to clean, to wash their clothes, to iron their clothes. Yes, it's a good thing now, but no mother should have to do that because they want their children to survive. And no child should go through watching their parents sick, helpless, on the machine, 4 times a week, 3.5 hours, sometimes passing out on the machine. No child should ever go through that trauma my kids went through. That is why I do what I do today.
That was too much. So every day you living with, you are like anxious, like you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring to you. You don't know if you're going to make it at the end of the month. If one time they're going to tell you that the things is going to stop. I just realized that it was like a torture. And,
it was like torture. I was anxious. I was always thinking, is it today? I had to go through 3 types of dialysis: peritoneal, neckline, which is hemodialysis, but through a different method. And then I had my fistula as well. And every time something went wrong, it was like nothing worked. So I was always sitting down thinking, is today my last time? When they take me into the hospital, I'm thinking, is today the last time I'm going to be alive? Am I going to see my kids, grow up? But today, my son just graduated from university. My daughter is in university. My younger ones who were children when I got married and when I fell ill, they're all married and they have children. The last daughter of my family has 3 children. She was a teenager when I was ill. And this is the miracle that keeps me going, that motivates me every day to do what I do.
Hilary, I just want to come to something you say that the reason that you waited so long is because our community, we are not, I don't understand, are we not the donors or are we not participating to any research?
Yeah. So I became an ambassador. When I got my transplant, I became an ambassador for organ donation, working with the NHS Blood and Transplant, raising awareness about organ donation and speaking to our communities to ask them to become organ donors or sign up to the organ donor register. And I noticed that there was a reluctance to engage with us. When people come to talk, they go, God forbid, I'm not going to die. Because everybody thinks writing a will, you are saying you are going to die. But that wasn't what we're trying to say. We're trying to say save other people. And then doing that, I realized that kidney disease is actually more prevalent, is more common in the Black and Asian communities. So I decided to join the Kidney Research UK. This is a charity that's looking for a cure for kidney disease. Unfortunately, people from our communities do not engage or get involved in research. And Kidney Research UK wanted a situation where they can find a cure, especially for us who are actually more susceptible to kidney disease because of high blood pressure and diabetes. So I joined them, and I joined a program called Atenai, which looks at working with people in the Black community so that they can help us, because getting involved in research doesn't involve, giving your saliva or blood or being in a hospital or something. It involves research, answering questions about different things about your life. And, I got involved with Antennae, which linked me up to research for the future. I spoke about that a little briefly last time I was here. And also talking to people at the same time to become organ donors and sign up to the organ donor register. And that is something I've been doing for a while. And our people, I think they're starting to understand that a lot of us are on the transplant list, and we need people from our communities to sign up, to come forward, either as signing up to say, when I die, use my organs to save somebody, or as a living donor, you come forward to save people's life. If you donate organs, you can save up to 9 lives, and if you add tissue to that, your tissues, you can save up to 85 lives. How amazing is the Lord our God who created us, that we can help other people?
I just want to find out, because we have this sort of way of thinking as Black community.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Yeah, no.
I don't want to go too much more deep, but this is how we think, that if you sign that as an organ donor, and if anything happened to you in the hospital, they may push you quickly to death, so they can take quickly your organ. This is what we think, and what people we discuss within the community.
Yes.
So I want you to explain to me this, because this is one of the worries of Black community.
Yeah.
When they ask them that you should be a donor, we already in our mind that anything small, even one coffee happened to me, they will put me to death quickly so they can collect all my organs and they give to other people. Now,
no, I will tell you now, no, that doesn't happen.
Yes.
Because if for any reason that happens, then the doctors and nurses who saved my life in 2008 and 2010 would not have made any effort to save my life.
Now, I want you to lift up a little bit, because that was just a kidney, but inside of you, you did have a good, everything was good. Oh God.
No, not really, because when you lose your kidneys, a lot of things shut down in your body. A lot of things. And when you're on dialysis, you stop weeing, okay? Because your body can no longer produce urine, because it is the kidneys who does that. You have problems with your heart, because the kidney and the heart are linked.
They're working together.
They're working together. And Mama Rose actually explained that last week. So you have to understand that, a lot of things shut down. You become really tired. You can't do anything. You have brain fog, she did say. And as a kidney patient, you forget things. I tend to write things down now, because that is still ongoing. You can't, go out, and if you were very active before, running and doing stuff like that, you can't do that. Now, for the doctors, let me answer that question. For people who are listening, the doctors will never do that to you, because they have signed a sort of agreement. They have ethics. So before they agree to use your organs, your family have to agree, because if you sign up to the organ donation register, to organ donor register, first, they will check if your name is on the list, okay? That is after they've done everything to save your life. And if they feel that there's still hope, they will continue working. But in the meantime, your family are being updated. They are being told what is happening, how you are going, and all of those. Now, when they get to a point where they feel that they can't help you anymore, they will tell your family, and they will ask them if they want to donate, if they are willing to donate. If you've already signed up to the organ donor register, your family can see that. They would be able to understand that this is your wish. That is why we ask people to sign up to the organ donor register and let their family know so that they can actually ensure that their wish is fulfilled if they are not in a position to do so. So no doctor will take your organs. Now, the first thing that will happen is that there are 2 checks that are made, which is the brain to see if you still have any brain activity going. Mm-hmm. And when they're doing that, your family are going to be in there. They're not going to lock them out. There'll be a specialist nurse for organ donation who will be in there with you to explain what is happening. So there's no silly question. You can ask questions. And then another doctor externally from that hospital where your relative or your loved one has died will come in and also check. And there's nobody who will lock you out. Mm-hmm. Everybody would, all members of your family would be told what is happening. Mm-hmm. If one person says no, that donation will not go ahead. And believe me, there are different measures put in place to ensure that, you are actually treated with dignity and respect, that loved one who's died is treated with dignity and respect. Families are actually consulted at every point. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Whatever happens, nobody would take your organs without the right consent from your family or from you. So please do not think that if you sign up to the organ donor register, that they will not treat you and make sure that you're well before they take your organs. That doesn't happen.
Je voulais juste donner briefly sur ce que Hilary était en train d'expliquer, puisque j'ai posé la question de savoir la communauté plus noire ne veut pas signer comme les donneurs des organes, puisqu'on a le pensée que si tu tombes juste un peu malade, on risque de te précipiter à la mort pour qu'on puisse retirer tes organes. Alors, elle est en train d'expliquer ici que si tu as signé et au cas où quelque chose est en train d'arriver, il y a la famille, apparemment la famille doit être, pas apparemment, mais c'est ça, c'est qu'elle est en train de dire que la famille est informée et la famille savent s'il y a quelque chose qu'on voit déjà que non, ta santé, tu ne vas pas soit te retrouver, mais si tu es dans la liste de quelqu'un qui a accepté qu'au cas où quelque chose m'arrive aujourd'hui, que je ne suis pas en vie, je vais donner mes organes pour qu'on puisse aider d'autres personnes qui en ont besoin. Alors, apparemment, il y aura l'infirmière qui est là, qui est spécialisée dans les histoires des organes. Il y a aussi un médecin qui est indépendant, qui ne fait pas de cet hôpital-là, qui viendra aussi de l'autre côté. Mais pendant ces moments-là, la famille doit être informée et la famille est au courant de tout ce qui est en train de se passer. Et si un des membres de la famille rejette que non, nous ne voulons pas que notre frère ou sœur puisse être prise après la mort ou puisse retirer ses organes, et complètement, cette procédure-là, même après la mort, cette procédure-là ne va pas se faire. Alors, c'est ça ce qu'elle était en train d'expliquer, que étant que la communauté noire, nous ne pouvons pas nous inquiéter que non, s'il y a quelque chose. Elle a donné son exemple qu'elle était sous dialyse pendant 10 ans et elle attendait qu'elle puisse trouver quelqu'un qui doit matcher, des mêmes catégories. Mais si c'était dans le cas, carrément les docteurs pouvaient aussi la laisser, ne pas la faire la traiter pour qu'elle puisse perdre sa vie. Comme ça, on va récupérer. C'est comme. Mais elle a aussi mentionné quelque chose que quand le rein ne fonctionne pas, le rein marche ensemble avec le cœur et tu ne vas pas comprendre comment est-ce que le rein seulement affecte tout votre système du corps, tous les autres organes et même le cœur et tout ça. Donc voilà, c'est ça ce que je voulais juste expliquer ici briefly. I think I did explain.
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
You've done really well.
Thank you. I tried.
Yes, you did.
Good. Now, we are coming, you have said that you have joined the organ donor. Did you join?
The organ donor register.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Okay.
When I came out and I had received my organ, my transplant, and I felt so good, I signed up to the organ donor register, and that was the form I used to sign up. And everybody can actually use this as well to sign up, or you go onto the website, which is www.organdonation.nhs.uk to sign up. I signed up, my daughter signed up when she was 16 years old, and my son is signed up as a blood donor as well as an organ donor, and my husband is signed up as well. My family, who are spread across the world, wherever they are, they've signed up. Apart from the ones back home, because there's no program like that, but what they do is help to share these
awareness.
Yes, the awareness amongst people to say, you know, sign up to the organ donation wherever you are. And they're also raising awareness about kidney disease, which is very easy to do. You know, looking at the information and putting out, they're also sharing that as well to raise awareness. Yeah.
That is very good. So, Hilary a signé qu'elle organe donne au cas qu'elle n'est plus en vie. Pas puisque quand elle est en vie, hein. On ne va pas prendre ça. Mais par la grâce de Dieu, nous savons qu'elle va vivre encore beaucoup d'années.
Ouais.
That is what we believe, that you're going to live again many years. You're going to even not go even to know that I've been transplanted and I'm a candidate here.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask another question.
Yeah.
How did you manage to cope during all this period? What was motivation, determination? Because we see many people go to certain situations, they give up easily. They lose fight, they lose the battle. Yeah. They give up because they are tired. Yeah. Here, are you telling me about 10 years? 10 years and sometimes a full time a week, going to just the same treatment, the same routine. Yeah. And sometimes you don't have any energy to do anything at all. No. You are weak and sometimes you just pass out during the dialysis. Now I want just to find out, what was your determination? Why you've been so determined to say, I'm not going to give up this fight?
My motivation was first that mother who agreed to organ donation. Without her doing that, without her, despite her loss, she lost her son. She agreed to organ donation to save other people's lives. That is enough motivation. But outside of that, I thought about our community, people who are on the transplant register, the transplant list, waiting for that person to come forward to say, I will donate, to give them a second chance at life. I was given a second chance. Why should I sit at home and, feeling sorry for myself, wallowing in self-pity? No, that's not me. So I went out, I became an ambassador, I became a peer educator with Kidney Research UK, because kidney disease is not limited, it doesn't limit you. Yes, I do get tired. I do end up sometimes in the evenings when I come back from all the events I go to, all the things I do, I get tired. I get in bed until the next morning. I'm up again. That motivation is thinking about that young man who died to give me life, to give me a second chance. So what I did with that, my other motivation was to set up a charity, a black kidney charity, for the first of its kind in the UK, for people in our community, so that you are not alone, because a mother agreed to organ donation. And that help she gave me set me up forever to be somebody, to be that hope for people who are kidney patients and their families, kidney and transplant patients and their families. And we offer different services, because when I was going through all my trials as a kidney patient, there was nobody to help me. So today, what I do, I make it my point of duty to make sure that every black kidney patient in the UK, I don't care where you are, I will be there for you. Thank goodness, something good came out of COVID, which is Zoom. So I can get online and speak to a doctor and say, what's happening with this patient? How can we help them? I'm not there to break any bridges. I'm there to build bridges so that our white counterparts and us can work together to find a solution.
Can I ask you a question? What type of support and what you bring to those black patients who have a kidney problem, kidney disease?
Yeah.
What type of support you bring to them?
Okay, mainly it's advocacy, but also we help Black kidney patients to apply for benefits, so application and appeals of benefits. We also help them we give them advice on anything at all. Like if new kidney patients who don't know anything about kidney disease, who need that support, we speak to them and we advise them on what is happening, what they need to do, the types of dialysis that are there. We also sort of like, support them if they have any issues, because as a breadwinner, a kidney patient is worrying about their family.
Yes.
So in order for them to be able to concentrate on themselves, we take on those issues and we advocate on their behalf. We would go to their house, especially when it comes to speaking to their families about becoming their donors. We go to their families and we explain the process. Just like the question you just asked me, we get a lot of those questions from families, and we speak to them and tell them, exactly what I've just explained. And sometimes we get other patients who we've worked with to say, can you speak to them and tell them your own experience? And so far, that has really worked. We've helped maybe about 30 patients off the top of my head, I can remember. And we sort of like there, we are a listening ear. We give them a shoulder to,
and encourage them to
lean on.
Give them hope, that's to not give up.
Exactly, not give up. And also tell them that kidney disease is not the end. I'm an example that kidney disease is not the end. I have done a lot of things in all this time. I've just been elected as a councillor. And I want to be that person that people look at and say, she's a kidney patient and she's doing this. Why can't I do the same thing? I want people to have hope, to get up from that bed, because kidney disease does not define you. You are going to have dominion over kidney disease, not the other way around. That is why I do what I do.
We have just like 5 minutes left now before we close. I just want to ask a question. How much tablet do you take a day?
I take like 15 tablets a day.
15 a day?
Yeah, 15 tablets a day, yeah. So they're anti-rejection tablets. And they stop my body from rejecting my transplant. Because despite the fact I've received the transplant, my antibodies are still there, and they could make my body reject the transplant. So I have to be on those. I'm also taking tablets for diabetes, because when I got the transplant, I had something called post-transplant diabetes, which is not type 2, but it's treated like type 2 diabetes. So I take tablets for those. I take tablets for high blood pressure as well, because obviously high blood pressure is also something that we all suffer from. So, I've forgotten. Yes, I also take tablets for, I can't remember all of them now, just out of my head. But in total, I take about 15. So, to manage my condition.
Vraiment, bandeko boyoki, ndeko na biso amelaka 15 comprimés par jour pour na ko protéger que nzoto na e rejeter rein oyo batie na kati ya nzoto na ete. Mosusu pour na ko contrôler hypertension, puisque ceux qui ont commis la condition wana ezali ekoki ko causer hypertension, ezo causer maladie, mosusu ezo bakisa problème gauche droite. Donc 15 comprimés par jour. Et nous a encouragé ici qu'avoir cette condition comme problème yarin et koki ko limiter yote, koki ko définir yote, yo il faut aux la likolo ya maladie. Ce n'est pas que puisque vous allez un problème moko boyo vandi dans les au s'abandonner na kati ya problème. Donc il faut aux la déterminer à lobi basali à joindre groupe oyo bakendaka vraiment travailler trop dur pour na kokende ko encourager batu mususu o bazana même problème que bazana par exemple na liste ou bien pour na ko salisa bango na kati application ya bambongo. Tout ça, makambo social. Atangi makambo ebele ye moko aza kansle awa na kati ya Salford, aba votaki aza ko représenter communauté. Donc elle est en train de travailler, de s'investir et d'être vraiment useful ndenge balobaka en anglais, useful na kati a communauté pour que communauté ait profité le maximum. Toza ko shite na question na biso ya suka. I just want to ask you, what is the last things that you can tell to people?
I just want to tell people that you can be a hope bringer. You can help somebody from our community, because when you donate, it's not as if we can't take from, or we can't get kidneys transplant from other communities, but it works better if that transplant comes from somebody from your own ethnic background. That's why we're asking people, that's why we are campaigning, asking people from our communities to actually sign up to the organ donor register, or approach your living donation team in the hospital wherever you are and say, I want to donate. And believe me, they're going to take care of you. They're going to explain everything to you about the process, even if you sign up to be a deceased donor. So that is when you die, you sign up. You're going to be doing somebody a lot of good. Somebody like me who was waiting, who was thinking I was going to die. So consider signing up to the organ donor register and having a talk with your family, letting them know your wish, so that if you're not in a position to do so, they can be your voice. They can be there to ensure that your wish is actually is being done. Okay? And one last thing is, don't think that the next person is going to do it. Because if we think like that, it could be your daughter, your son, your wife, even you tomorrow. And then you want a transplant. If you don't give, then if you receive, why won't you give? You donate so that others might live and have a second chance at life.
Wow, thank you very much. Quickly, that is, you're going to give me just the answer, quickly explanation, because you say becoming an organ donor, you spoke about a tissue.
Yes.
Because when you say about a tissue, people, they don't know what is a tissue. We might think is a flesh, is our skin. What is the tissue? What is the tissue about? What you mean the tissue?
Yeah, so your skin can be tissue. So it's also your muscles. It could also be your bone marrow. You know, inside your body, there are different tissues that they can use. The other thing that they can use are your cornea. So some people say they don't want to give their eyes. It's not your whole eyes. They just take the cornea. It helps people to see. People who are blind, when they do eye transplant, it's cornea transplant. They help them to see. So if someone who's had diabetes and has a problem with their eyes, they can actually see again because somebody who's died has agreed for their corneas to be used to improve somebody's life. And a lot of people have had that.
Cornea, is that the black film?
It's the film over the eyes, yes. And they just sort of like, they do it in a very respectful and dignified way. So when you see your loved one, it's not going to look as if anything has happened. There's quite a few people from our community who've done that. But because of the stigma that's attached to organ donation or donating your loved one's organs, people don't want to come out. If I die today, I have said my organs should be used, all my organs and tissues should be used to save somebody's life, because I'm not going to use it because my body's going to rot in the ground. In fact, I'm getting cremated. So why would I want to burn all those things and, you know, leave people in pain like I waited for those many years? So they're going to use my organs. And believe me, when you do that, when you sign up and say you want to give somebody, there is that feeling of fulfillment that comes over you. So please consider becoming an organ donor and signing up to the organ donation register. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. On est à la fin. Hilary nous a expliqué ici, signez, vous pouvez rejoindre l'organisation, le groupe qui donne leurs organes. Si tu veux plus des informations, elle a juste donné les noms ici, Living Donating Team. C'est à l'hôpital, vous pouvez aller, on va vous expliquer étape par étape. Elle a dit que même le muscle, tout ça, le truc, je crois que c'est la pupille ou bien pour les yeux, ça aide les gens qui ont les problèmes, qui ont peut-être eu le diabète, qui ont affecté leur vue. Alors, on récupère ça et ça peut aider encore une autre personne à commencer encore à voir encore plus mieux. Alors, donc, elle nous a tout expliqué ici qu'elle-même déjà, elle a déjà signé. et elle ne voit pas pourquoi elle ne peut pas aider une autre personne si elle n'est pas là en vie. Elle ne voit pas pourquoi elle ne peut pas aider d'autres personnes. Et d'ailleurs, si aujourd'hui elle n'est pas là, et si on récupère ce que les gens ont besoin pour les aider aussi à survivre, comme elle est en train de survivre aussi, de vivre à cause d'un enfant qui était mort, et cet enfant, on a récupéré le rein de cet enfant. La maman a donné afin qu'elle soit ici présente. Donc, voilà, nous sommes à la fin de notre programme. Nous voulons juste remercier, il y a une personne qui a fait le commentaire, Ad Alaitan.
Ade Olaitan.
Alaitan.
Yeah.
Elle a dit qu'elle-même, elle est le témoignage. I'm a living example as well. I'm also a founder of CIST. Voilà, elle aussi, elle est passée par là. Donc, à toutes les personnes qui nous ont vraiment suivis ici pour faire que cette émission soit vraiment très bien et dynamique. Yalou Samba, je vous remercie beaucoup, maman patiente, maman Béna.
Ouais.
Je te remercie, que le Seigneur te bénisse, c'est unique à ton genre.
Merci.
Je te bénis, que le Seigneur te bénisse encore, maman Florence, maman Aline La Grâce, partout où vous êtes, que ce que je n'ai pas cité ici, encore une fois, nous vous disons merci beaucoup, donnez vos idées, partagez avec une autre personne qui aura besoin d'apprendre quelque chose. C'était votre maman et sœur, maman Prudence. Je suis staff de Walmart UK, la charité ici à Manchester, spécialement ici à Salford, sous management de maman Pipé. Je voulais juste vous informer que pendant ces 4 semaines ici, nous avons les activités des enfants chaque mercredi. On va, Papa JC peut nous balancer le temps. Les enfants vont venir ici à Salford, ils vont prendre le breakfast et puis ils vont prendre leur dinner. Il y aura les bouncy castles, il y aura des jeux pour que les enfants ne s'ennuient pas à la maison. Ça sera pendant 3 heures. Vous ne payez pas, c'est free. Amenez vos enfants et surtout, veillez sur votre santé, c'est très très important. Alors, bonne soirée à Papa JC, Venix TV, ici toujours à Manchester. Oya salaka ke ba émission ezala kitoko. Mama Hilary,
Merci
thank
beaucoup.
you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
See you
Et
next
bonne nuit.
time.
Oui.
Bye bye.
Bye.